What's up, guys? Welcome to a quick overview video for the upcoming game Redfall. This game's legit about to drop in like 5 hours, so I quickly just wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight on my feelings from what I've been looking at the game so far with gameplays and kind of just the overall feel I've been getting and vibe from the overall game. If you guys don't know already, Arcane Studios is the developer behind this game, and it basically is an open world FPS game that puts you in the shoes of a survivor inside of basically a small town in Massachusetts that is taken over by vampires. Yep, I said it right, vampires. This has been probably one of my top 5, I say, concepts that I've always had for a game, where it's kind of put you in the shoes of like Van Helsing or some type of vampire slayer that is just badass, and you're just killing vampires with your homies like in a cool kind of linear game. Or now this is going to be open world. So I want to break down what Arcane Studios has kind of done before. So if you guys don't know, they've primarily made linear based kind of semi-open world games, if you want to say, but I don't think you really classify them as semi-open world, even because they're way linear than most games. So if you guys don't know who Arcane Studios is, a quick overview of them is they've made a lot of beloved games that they kind of crafted for more of a linear experience, but most of the games you can kind of do what you want in these open-ended maps, whether you're playing the Dishonored series, Deathloop, and even Prey, which is kind of a hidden gem if I want to actually admit to it, but I haven't played a lot of it. I played about like an hour or two of it, but it was really enjoyable. I think it's probably a good game. I need to kind of play that. But the main game we're focusing on now is Redfall, and this leads to how I feel about the game so far from what I've seen with gameplays. The kind of feel of the game they're going for and with the visual style is realistic, but with a cartoonish look to it. Almost like I feel like most games kind of go for nowadays with that cartoony look, which is not a bad thing. But the game is basically putting you into an open world where you can play full seamless co-op, and I believe the devs have confirmed that it is untethered, so you and your homies could do, I guess, stuff on the map differently than say like, you know, like you guys split up 2 and 2, since it is 4-player co-op. And you're just fighting vampires, man. You're just moving through area to area and killing vampires. There's special vampires, there's different types of variants, I'm assuming, that they maybe haven't revealed yet in gameplays. But this is where it gets to the fact that I am very, very scared for this game, because so far gameplay that I've seen for it, like you're watching right now in the video, guys, I hate comparing games to other games, you know what I mean? But it's hard not to take, I guess, relatable gameplay from other games and kind of compare it to the game. I think that's more fair, instead of completely just, you know, like saying, oh, this game feels like Far Cry, or like, you know, like a watered down open world game. But it's kind of been feeling to me the vibe of kind of like Far Cry. Like it's hard to not feel that way, and I'll explain. Because Arcane has always crafted linear games. They've focused on lore and like moving from point A to point B, and kind of just having good movement in their games, whether it's been Dishonored or even Deathloop, I say, for good examples. But the thing is, transitioning to an open world, and especially adding content and making the game feel alive and having those details in every nook and cranny while you're exploring the open world, and having interiors and then also exteriors that are just genuinely exciting to explore with your friends in the open world, I am very concerned that there's going to be a lot of lacking factors there. Just because of the scale. I think it's the biggest map they said they've ever created for any game in the past. So that is kind of ambitious, I want to say, for Arcane in general, because they've never made an open world game to this day. And I'll admit, some of the enemy designs and the way they look, I feel like this is more of a nitpick for me personally, but I feel like if they went with more of a darker tone for some of the vampires, man, like they really could have knocked it out. Like look at some of these vampires right here. Like they just look kind of goofy, man. Like this guy's wearing shades. This guy looks like he has like blue hair, like not in a bad way, but like they just look kind of immersion breaking, if that makes any sense. Maybe that's just me from watching a lot of vampire movies like 30 Days of Night and From Dusk Till Dawn, and like just used to just watching violent vampire movies back in the day and like Pulp Fiction type movies. But anyway, I'll digress. And also, the game has been in development for about 3 to 4 years only, and I'm just hoping that Arcane really took their time with this and put the effort into just caring about the game and like crafting a good open world for you to explore. I think that's a very common concern that I've been seeing with people that have been looking at the game so far and kind of wondering like, how's the world gonna feel? Like, you know, is there dynamic events that happen like in the world, like while you're just walking through it and exploring with your friends? Because I'll admit, I'm a sucker when it comes to open world games. Like you're playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and like you just bump into like a random event that you never like saw before, or you do a side mission that's even better than one of the main missions that you do for the main story. That's when you're crafting like a good open world, and NPCs react to you. NPCs have good dialogue, like there's good lore everywhere you explore. These are my primary concerns with Redfall, guys, and I just hope and pray for the best for Arcane Studios, because very few studios nowadays can even do open world games right. There's so many that have recently failed, I think, in my opinion, at trying to be over ambitious and kind of making an open world that just doesn't feel good to play, and it's lacking in so many areas, whether it's the details, the way the map is designed. Like it just feels barren, it feels kind of bland. There's not even much stuff to do in some games. Like they just kind of have padding sections where you're just kind of coasting, like, you know, what is going on right now? I'm just like, you know, I'm just walking across this open area and like nothing's kind of going on. You're kind of soaking up the details, which is fine if you like that, but I like my immersion for my open world games. I just want to have that hopefully in Redfall, at least a little bit. My expectations are pretty decent going into this game, but I definitely want to know how you guys feel about the game in the comments below, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and like 5 hours from now, the game's about to release. So I'll see y'all there, hopefully in some of the other reviews for this video game when it does release. And with that all being said, guys, take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.